your thing here, bud. Nobody's any better at this than you are.
That's fine. Take a deep breath.
Give them hell at the end. You like this?
Fight like hell like we do every week. You are the best here. Brett, be affirmative. You told me to get on.
Info. Ready. Ready. Go slow. Green, green, green. Lock it down, lock it down.
I'm destroyed, and I just got drove through like 6 times on the 14th. What the f is he thinking? That is the stupidest thing I've seen in my career. Literally.
Everything you described is accurate. Haven't even finished the second stage yet. Half the field's wrecked.
Hell yeah!
11 got it. Proud of you there, Matt. Good job, pal. Thanks, man. Good job all day. Great work, my man. Great work.
Keep putting yourself in position. We'll win our share, right? We got one back today, brother. Good job.
10-4. Great job, guys.
Hey, welcome back to Racing in the Draft. The regular season is done. Daytona is in the rearview mirror, and it was quite a weekend. Not sure if you watched the end of that intro video, but I had a really good weekend, to say the least. Little lucky, but I guess we put things together to have good luck. So hopefully you did well this weekend also, and welcome to the playoffs. Kyle Larson ended up wrapping up the regular season championship, and Tyler Reddick ends up capturing the final spot in the playoffs with his finish. It was real interesting and dicey there towards the end, and as always, and almost always happens at Daytona, the big one ended up happening, and it happened on the last lap, about halfway through it. So what a finish, what a weekend. Can't wait for the playoffs. I think we're in for a heck of a ride to finish out this 2021 season. So Ryan Blaney ends up getting the win. It's a back-to-back win, Michigan and then Daytona. 3 wins on the season. Put him in pretty good standings in the playoffs, but Kyle Larson really has a dominant lead going in with all of the points that he had. Well, let's take a look at what happened at Daytona. Optimal lineups. Oops, I forgot to change that from Michigan to Daytona, so ignore that, sorry. But the rest of it is correct. Daytona, 165 laps, no dominators as expected, but 6th place differential guys, and all six of them ended up being value. I consider pretty much anybody under 8,000 to be a value, and only one really over 7,500 with Brian Priest. But as we see, average starting spot of 24th, and almost all of them finished in the top 10 except for Josh Bilicki. But as we can see, they only spent $36,800. I think I even mentioned that at the end of last week's video, that you definitely do not want to be spending your money. In fact, all of your money. In fact, spending all your money would probably be the wrong thing to do, because most of those guys were starting up front and ended up getting wrecked. But at least at the end of the regular season, Kyle Larson, just like in the regular points, owns the lead for the optimal lineup contest for the year. Now I'm running this through the end of the season, so Daniel Suarez, Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, Martin Truex, and Ryan Blaney still could get themselves into that top spot depending on what happens in the playoffs. Now, let's take a look at Darlington. Man, I've been doing some iRacing this past week, and Darlington's off. The Lady in Black, you get a Darlington stripe, it's almost guaranteed that you're going to rub the wall at some point. It's a tough little racetrack, and it's a lot of fun. They have done some repaving. I think it was turns 1 and 2. They're not sure what's going to be. They're not sure what's going to happen with that. Whether it's going to make it faster, slicker, tighter, it's hard to say. But either way, the real reason we came, let's take a look at the track first. The Cookout Southern 500 from Darlington Raceway. It is one of the oldest tracks on the NASCAR circuit. It is a steep, high tire wear track, being down in South Carolina, fairly close to the beach area. the sand really eats into the pavement there, which makes it really, really rough and eats up some tires. The track length is 1.366 miles. 25 degree in turn 1 and 2. That is on the right hand side that you can see. It's almost an egg-shaped looking track, but the turns 1 and 2 are much tighter than turns 3 and 4, which are banked at 23 degrees. So you could have a car that turns super well in turns 1 and 2 and just awful in 3 and 4, and you're kind of done. So having a really well balanced race car that gets through turns 1 and 2 fairly good and 3 and 4 fairly good, you're much better off than having one corner being great and the other corner being awful. Race length is scheduled for 367 laps. Dominator points of 256.9. Dominator's points will come into play, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we look at the optimal items from previous races towards the end of this video. But laps led equal 91.75 and fast laps of 165.15. Alright, the real reason you guys came, driver by driver breakdown. DraftKings pricing, top of the heap, Kyle Larson, no surprise there, our regular season champion, and just all around having an amazing year. He does have only 2 current starts at Darlington in the last 5, but he's priced at $11,500 on the power ranking this week. He is coming in at 2nd. He'll be starting 6th. The way they are doing the qualifying lineup matrix is they are following the same matrix as they have before, but they're pulling out the top 16 or the playoff drivers and putting them and ordering them in the correct order 1 through 16. So if you're in the playoffs, you are going to be starting at least 16th or better. Kyle Larson's finish last week at Daytona gives him a starting spot 6th, and that'll be the case for everyone else. And then once they get through the playoff drivers, then they take the normal drivers where they finished in the matrix and list them down. So got a little interesting dynamic to the qualifying grid, or the starting grid. But let's get to it. Starting 6, 2 starts. All 2 of those starts have been top 5s. 65.5 DraftKings average and a 2nd place average finish. So he's finished 2nd here the last 2 times he has raced at Darlington. And last race, which was earlier this year, I didn't take into account last year's race. I just went off the most recent race for this stat. So he finished 2nd. He's raced there 7 times, 4 top 5s, 6 top 10s, and all 7 of those races he's finished in the top 20. Next in line, we've got Kyle Busch, 11,200, starting 12th. Does not have a win in the last 5 starts here, but 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s, and 4 top 20s, a 57.1 DraftKings average, an 8.2 average finish. He'll be starting 12th. Power ranking this week of 3, and he finished 3rd in the race earlier this year. He does have 1 win at Darlington out of his 19 total starts. Does have 6 top 5s, 13 top 10s, and 15 top 20s. Kyle's pretty good at this track. I like his starting spot being 12. Gives us a little bit of PD upside also. Martin Truex Jr., 11,000 flat. Starting 10th, power ranking of 4. Does have 1 win, which happened to come earlier this year. With that 1 win, he does have the 1 top 5, 3 top 10s, and 4 top 20s. A 81.3 DraftKings average, which is the highest DraftKings average out of all of the drivers this weekend. A 10.8 average finish. He did finish 1st here in the spring race. 2 wins to his record out of his 18 total starts at Darlington. 3 top 5s, 9 top 10s, and 16 out of 18 top 20s. Martin's also pretty good at this track. William Byron, 10,700, starting 14th. And if you're going, why does that car doesn't look like a regular car? It's not. If you figure out the date of this race, which is September 5th, that's 9/5. Well, for some reason, that's now being called Cars, the animated movie Cars. The car in that movie was car number 95. Hence, September 5th, 9/5. Now it's Cars Day. So a lot of the cars that you'll see in the display will have their cars, I guess, picture or thumbnail or whatever you want to call it. But I thought it was kind of interesting. I thought it was kind of fun. NASCAR put it up on their website. I was like, oh, I'll pull some of those down and put it in. So, William Byron. Let's get back to the real thing. I kind of got off on a tangent there. Sorry, 10,700. Starting 14th. Power ranking of 12. 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s, 3 top 20s, a 25.8 DraftKings average, and a 15.4 average finish in the last 5 races at Darlington. He did finish 4th here earlier this year, and has 6 total starts at Darlington, 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s, and 3 top 20s. Brad Keselowski, 10,400, starting 16th, last of the playoff drivers. 7 on the power ranking this week. Does have 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s, and 4 top 20s, a 33.1 DraftKings average, and 11.4 average finish. I like Brad. I like his starting spot. I like he's fairly consistent with this track. And I think being a playoff driver, he's going to kind of want to try to get a step up going through this. Finished 24th in the spring race here at Darlington. Has 15 total starts at Darlington with 1 win, 5 top 10s, 7 top 10s, and 13 top 20s. I think I said that right. 5 top 5s, 7 top 10s, 13 top 20s. That is 15 total starts, so pretty consistent. Most of these guys at the top, that's why they're priced up as high as they are. All right, next in line here, we've got Joey Logano and his fun little Cars themed paint scheme. Joey Logano 10,100, starting 11th, 14th on the power ranking this week. And out of the last 5 starts, he has 1 top 5, 2 top 10s, 5 top 20s, a 32.3 DraftKings average, and a 10.8 average finish. He finished 13th here in the spring race, and 15 total starts, has 4 top 5s, 7 top 10s, and 11 top 20s. Next in line, Kevin Harvick, 9,800, starting 9th, number 1 on the power ranking, and here's why. 2 wins in the last 5 starts, 4 top 5s, 5 top 10s, 5 top 20s, 68.2 DraftKings average, 3.0 average finish. Finished 6th here in the spring race. 27 total starts here with 3 wins to his record, 11 top 5s, 16 top 10s, 22 top 20s. With that being said, remember Kevin and Stewart Haas have had some struggles this year, but will the playoffs be the time where they finally turn the corner? If so, that would be a great way to finish off a not so great season, even though he did make his way in, pointed his way into the playoffs. Next in line, Denny Hamlin, 9,500, 5th on the power ranking, starting P2, outside pole. Does have 1 win in the last 5 starts, 3 top 5s, 3 top 10s, 4 top 20s, 39.2 DraftKings average, and a 10.6 average finish. He finished 5th here in the spring race. Has 3 wins out of his 18 total starts, with but 10 top 5s, 14 top 10s, and 17 top 20s. Now, I don't like the drama department when it comes to NASCAR, but I also think it's important to say that Denny Hamlin seems to be having trouble with his girlfriend, and she seems to be putting all of their dirty laundry out on social media. Now, is that going to be something that bothers Denny mentally going into a race? Potentially, it's hard to say. I'm sure that it'll be talked about. Now, whether he can stay focused and concentrate on racing, that's a different story. So, just throwing that out there that not sure Denny Hamlin's head's fully going to be involved in this race. But these guys are professionals, and they leave their drama outside the track typically. So unless they've got drama with somebody inside the track, then it gets really fun. But wish the best for them, and hopefully everybody can mind their own business and let them get on, and hopefully his lady friend can quit stirring the pot. All right, back to the reason you came again. Chase Elliott, 9,200, 8th on the power ranking, starting 4th. No wins at Darlington, but 1 top 5, 2 top 10s, 4 top 20s, a 35.7 DraftKings average, and a 17.6 average finish. He did finish 7th here in the spring race, and out of his 9 total starts at Darlington, does have 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s, and 7 top 20s. Alex Bowman, 8,900, 10th on the power ranking, starting 5th. No wins to his record at Darlington, but 1 top 5, 2 top 10s, and 5 top 20s, a 39.4 DraftKings average, and a 12.2 average finish. He finished 17th here in the spring. Oh, he does have 8 total starts here with the same stats. 1 top 5, 2 top 10, 5 top 20s. Alright, our next grouping here, we start off with Christopher Bell, 8,700, starting 13th. 20th on the power ranking. No top 5, no top 10s, only 2 top 20s, a 26.0 DraftKings average, and a 20.8 average finish. Finished 14th here in the spring race, and has the same stats because he only has 4 total career starts here at Darlington. Ryan Blaney in his fun cars-themed paint scheme, 8,500, pole position, and previous race winner. Let's see, 24th on the power ranking because he has that awesome pole position. And he's okay at this track. He's not great. 1 top 10, 3 top 20s, 16.1 DraftKings average, and a 16.4 average finish. Don't like a whole lot. I don't like Brian Blaney much this week, mostly because of that pole position. He did finish 8th here in the spring race. 9 total starts at Darlington with 1 top 10 and 5 top 20s. Austin Dillon, and another fun paint scheme from Cars. Austin Dillon, 8,300, starting 21st. 16th on the power ranking, starting 21st. 1 top 5, 2 top 10s, and 5 top 20s. A 30.2 DraftKings average and 11.8 average finish. He finished 16th here in the spring race. 10 total starts at Darlington to his career. 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s, and 9 top 20s. Not too shabby. I also have Austin Dillon, if you ever read the bottom part, I have Austin Dillon as a long shot potential to be a decent little bet, especially maybe even top 3. If it's paying 5,000 to 1 or 500 to 1 or 50 to 1, 50 to 1. So, put $1 on it and see if you can win 50. Next in line, Kurt Busch, 8,100, starting 3rd, 11th on the power ranking. And out of his last 5 starts, has 1 top 5, 3 top 10s, and 4 top 20s, a 45.9 DraftKings average, 13.6 average finish. Finished 35th here in the spring race and has 27 total starts at Darlington with 4 top 5s, 11 top 10s, and 16 top 20s. Next in line, Tyler Reddick, 8,000, starting 7th. 15th on the power ranking. No top 5s, 1 top 10, and 3 top 20s out of his 4 previous starts at Darlington. 13.8 average finish, but it did finish 12th here in the spring race and has the same stats because he has only started here 4 times. I do like Tyler a little bit because he does like these higher wear tracks and tracks that the high groove is the preferred groove. He and Kyle Larson and a little bit of Christopher Bell really like to run that high line right next to the wall. So Tyler may end up being somebody to watch. Don't love his starting position, but I think he could probably end up finishing the top 5. So keep an eye on Tyler. All right, next grouping here, Chris Buescher, 7,800, starting 34th, 9th on the power ranking. I like his starting spot. Don't love his stats, but I like his starting spot a lot. So great PD upside play right here with Chris. No top 5s, 1 top 10, 2 top 20s, a 24.1 DraftKings average, and a 20.4 average finish. He finished 9th here in the spring and has 8 total starts with 1 top 10, 5 top 20s. I think he finishes at least in the top 25, if not top 20, probably in the mid-teens, which gives us great PD upside and probably puts him into the optimal lineup as long as he can finish out the race and not have any trouble. Next in line, Matt Benedetto. He tried his best to get a win at Daytona and ended up in the big one. But 7,700, starting 30th. 13th on the power ranking. Another great PD upside play here. No top 5s, 1 top 10, 3 top 20s, a 26.5 DraftKings average, a 13.7 average finish. Finished 26th here in the spring. 8 total starts. That last stat is not right. So he has at least 1 top 10 and 3 top 20s. Next in line, Ross Chastain. Another guy that likes to run the top line right next to the wall. 7,500 for Ross. Starting 23rd, 18th on the power ranking, 1 top 20, 24.3 DraftKings average, and 24th place average finish. Finished 15th here in the spring race, and with that 15th place finish, that was his only top 20 out of his 4 total starts at Darlington. Next in line, Daniel Suarez, 7,300, starting 26th. 23rd on the power ranking, 1 top 5 in the last 5 starts here, 20.5 DraftKings average, a 22.2 average finish. He finished 23rd here in the spring race, and out of his 7 total starts, only has 1 top 5. Next in line here, Cole Custer, 7,100, starting 31st on the grid. 26th on the power ranking, has 4 total starts here at Darlington, 1 top 20, an 8.5 DraftKings average, and a 22.2 average finish. Finished 36th here in the spring race. Well, that's a bad finish. That's right, he hit the wall, and then Erik Jones hit the wall in the same spot like 50 laps later. All right, next in line here, Erik Jones. Hey, we just talked about him. 7,000, starting 8th. 27th on the power ranking. No top 5s, 2 top 10s, 4 top 20s in his last 5 starts. 23.8 DraftKings average, a 16.4 average finish. Yeah, he finished 37th in the spring race. Sometimes when you hit the wall really hard. 12 total starts here at Darlington, 2 top 10s and 9 top 20s. No top 5s, but don't like Erik Jones' starting spot or the luck that he's had this year. He did finish really well in one race, but that does not make me comfortable enough to say, hey, you can finish it in top 10. Hey, watch him go do it. But next in line here, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 6,800. Starting 29th and 22nd on the power ranking, has 2 top 20s, 19.8 DraftKings average, a 27.4 average finish. Finished 20th here in the spring race, and 11 total starts here at Darlington, has 6 top 20s. Decent starting spot for maybe some PD upside. So seems to finish pretty consistently in the top 20. So maybe 9, 10, 11 PD upside there for Ricky. Next in line here, Ryan Preece, 6,600, starting 17th, 29th on the power ranking, has 5 total starts here, and 2 top 20s for those 5 starts, 23.9 DraftKings average, 24.6 average finish. He finished 25th here in the spring race. Ryan Preece does not have a win here. That is a mistake. But yeah, you can't have 2 top 20s and no win and 1 win. Doesn't work that way. So ignore that. That is a typo. Next in line here, Michael McColl, 6,400, 32nd on the power ranking and starting 15th. 2 top 20s here in the last 5 starts at Darlington, 15.8 DraftKings average, a 24.2 average finish. He finished 27th here in the spring race, and out of his 12 total starts has 4 top 20s. Don't like Michael McDowell's starting spot, so probably way away from that. Chase Briscoe, 6,300, starting 24th, has one cup start here at Darlington with one top 20, 43.0 DraftKings average, 11th place average finish, finished 11th for that one start. And in the Xfinity Series, he does have 3 starts with 1 win and 2 top 10s, and all 3 finishes were in the top 20. I like Chase Briscoe's starting spot here, and I think he might end up being somebody to have pretty good PD upside. Next in line here, Erik Jones, 6,100, starting 22nd. 6th on the power ranking. Erik does have a win here when he was with Joe Gibbs Racing, and has 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s, and 5 top 20s, a 61.4 DraftKings average, and a 7.2 average finish. He finished 18th here in the spring race, and out of his 7 total starts has 1 win, 1 top 5, 4 top 10s, and all 7 of his starts have all finished in the top 20. Next in line, Bubba Wallace, 6,000. Oh yeah, shout out to Bubba. Not even top 5, not even top 3, top 2 finish at Daytona, finishing behind his buddy Ryan Blaney for the 2nd finishing position. That's his highest finishing position, so congrats, Bubba. Finally finished in the top 5, top 2. But 21st on the power ranking this week. This is not a super speedway, and it has thrown Bubba for some twists and turns over the years. Starting 19th, 1 top 20, 17.4 DraftKings average, 24.8 average finish. Finished 21st here in the spring race, and has raced here 6 total times. Anthony Alfredo, 5,800, starting 32nd. 28th on the power ranking. Only has 1 cup start here where he finished 26th and had a 15.0 DraftKings average, or 15.0 for that one race. Does have 2 Xfinity starts where he finished 14th and 27th. Not shabby on the starting spot. Not sure I would take a whole lot of Anthony here, other than if I'm just absolutely trying to save some money, but I think Erik Jones is a much better bet starting 22nd. His record here is much better. Ryan Newman, 5,700, starting 18th, 19th on the power ranking. 1 top 10, 4 top 20s, a 33.8 DraftKings average, 15.4 average finish. Nope, I didn't put where he finished in the spring race. Let's see real quick if I can find it. Ryan Newman. And he finished 10th. Oh, pretty good finish there for Mr. Ryan Newman in the spring race. Does have 1 win to his credit out of 25 total starts here at Darlington. 7 top 5s, 14 top 20, 14 top 10s, and 20 top 20s. Alright, next in line here we have got Corey LaJoie, 5,500, starting 25th, 34th on the power ranking. No top 20s in his last 5 starts here, 8.7 DraftKings average, and a 30th place average finish. Finished 22nd here in the spring race. Alright, we're getting down to the guys that I won't be starting, won't even be looking at, but we'll cover them real quick here. Quinn Hoff, 5,400, starting 37th, finished 30th here in the spring race, and has an average finish of 31st. Next in line, Cody Ware, 5,200, starting 33rd. Has started here twice, 34.0 average finish. James Davison, 5,100, starting 36th, and has 2 starts here with a 35th place average finish. Not in that one. Joey Gase, 4,900, starting 35th, has a 31.5 average finish. Finished 33rd here in the spring. BJ McLeod, 4,800, starting 27th. Shout out to BJ McLeod too, by the way. Top 10 finish at Daytona. Best finish for BJ McLeod in a Cup Series. But back to this, starting 27th, has an average finish of 35.5 and finished 32nd in the spring. Next in line here, Justin Haley, who's actually been running really well lately. ran really well at Michigan, and Daytona has a starting spot of 20th, which I really don't like, considering his average finish is 28th here. Well, he only finished 28th once. That would give him the average finish of 28th. Josh Bilicki here with a throwback scheme to Rusty Wallace. But Josh Bilicki, 4,500, starting 28th, and averages 33rd. All right, let's look at some optimal lineups from previous races here and kind of see what we're really diving into and what we're really looking at. The Darlington spring race from earlier this year was 293 laps. It had one dominator, which was Martin Truex Jr., who absolutely just stunk the show up. 137.9 points in DraftKings is just unreal. I mean, his next closest was Kyle Busch at 50.9. But there were, for the optimal lineup, 3 place differential guys. All 3 of those place differential guys were values, but 3 finishers being Chris Buescher, who started 11th, finished 9th, Kyle Busch 3rd to 3rd, and Martin Truex 4th to 1st. We had $400 left in salary from that one. And the spring race, it says Daytona. God, I should really check this a little bit better, but either way, 367 laps, one dominator being Martin Truex Jr., leading 196 laps, 118.5 total points. Erik Jones, pretty well up there at 71, but he was a place differential, so 4 PD upside guys, 3 value, and 2 finishers, and $500 left. All right, next in line here is the 2 spring races that they had back-to-back in Darlington. 208 laps for the first one, had one dominator being Clint Bowyer, leading 71 laps. It was not the highest points getter because we had 4 place differential guys and 1 value guy in Bubba Wallace, actually, with $200 left over there. And once again, I didn't proofread this, so that's not right. But the second Darlington race, 293 laps, had 2 dominators with Kevin Harvick and Alex Bowman leading, looks like at least 2/3 of the laps. 4 place differential guys, 3 value, and 2 finishers. We had $2,300 left in that one. Now, I've been diving in a little bit more and more to points and who's making points. So this is a breakdown of the average salary spent over the last 5 races at Darlington was $49,300. So that leaves you $700 left over. The average points total, which we never really know, is 388.53, but the average starting spot, I think this is kind of the important part, is a 19.93. So pretty much a 20th place average starting spot. So when you're averaging all your guys and looking for, not trying to take everybody that's starting up front or everybody that's starting in the back, I think it's a good blended balance. I think you're looking for, those 1 or 2 dominators and, 1 maybe value guy and 3 good place differential guys. So just found this kind of interesting and wanted to share that, this is kind of the stuff that I'm looking at when I'm breaking down who I'm going to put in my my lineups and such. But as always, we'll talk about some dominators here. I think Denny Hamlin, depending on where his mind frame is, starting second has probably the best chance of getting up and past Ryan Blaney to probably lead at least through the first competition caution, if not through the first stage. Paul Larson would be next in line, who I think by stage 2 could easily get back up front and stay there. Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, Martin Truex Jr. If Martin can get up there fairly quickly, I think he could probably battle Kyle Larson for leading the most laps. For some reason, with this 750 horsepower high downforce package that they're running, Martin runs really well at it, but doesn't seem to run really well with it at night, and this is a night race. So take that into question, and that's why I didn't have him further up on this chart. But I think any of these guys at the top, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, or Chase Elliott, could easily dominate and be your dominator guys. So let's look at our place differential, guys. Chris Buescher coming from 34th. Matt DiBenedetto starting 30th. Austin Dillon starting 21st. Brad Kay starting 16th. And Erik Jones starting 22nd are all really good PD plays. But Chris Buescher and Matt DiBenedetto will probably be in a lot of my lineups this weekend. In our fill-in guys, I like potentially Joey. Ryan Newman's a good value. Christopher Bell, another good value would be Bubba, Cole Custer, Brian Priest. And we're kind of getting into some, I don't know, scary stuff down there. But either way, I once again appreciate you checking my video out. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, do all the social media stuff that you would do if you know anybody that would enjoy this content. And I wish you the best of luck. Doubtful I'll have as good of luck as I had this past week, but I mean, it's why we play it, and who knows. Have a great weekend. Enjoy Labor Day weekend. I know my kid goes back to school on Tuesday, and then they're in Richmond, and it's kind of cool. I'm going out of town to a really cool place out west, but I live in Richmond, and they're racing in pretty much my backyard, and I'm going to miss it. But either way, I'm still going to get a video up before I head out of town, and good luck this weekend. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and we will talk to you next week. Good luck. Bye.
Take a good deep breath. Get ready to roll here. Only about one thing tonight, getting the W's, so got to be around at the end to do that. Get ready to roll tonight, boys. Let's go have some fun.
Don't get me any more fired up than I already am.
All the way to the checkered. You're fine. Nobody's got to run. Checker time, baby!
Hell yeah!
Proud of you there, Matt. Good job, pal. Thanks, man. Good job all day. Great work, my man. Great work.
Keep putting yourself in position, we'll win our share, right? We got one back today, brother. Good job.
Great job, guys. Excellent work, my man. Excellent work. Thank you.
Man, that's awesome. Set out with a goal, we got it here, bud. Thank you very much.
Really proud of you, man. Drove your butt off tonight. We had the fastest car here, bud.
Probably killed our deal there. Just feel like I gave one away.
Yeah, boys. Way to rebound. Great job.
Great job, bud. Really good job. Appreciate you hanging in there with us all weekend.
What a weekend. Good job. Thank you.